our program started. Thank you all for being here. Please make friends.
Georgia, I know, was going to park way over.
There you go. That's a good idea.
And on the right side of the stage, that would be much appreciated.
There you go.
Exactly.
I'm a local.
Is that okay?
All right, we are going to get started here, everybody. Look around. I think we've got more than 500 people right here. I love this city. So before we get started, I do need to let you all know that we cannot go on the very top step here. You will set off a proximity alarm, and they will remove us by force. So please, don't trigger the alarms. I don't like having the cops called on me. It's not fun, and I'm going to be the one that has to explain it. Thank you. Worth of land while we struggle to keep our rent and our mortgages paid. This has got to end! We demand an end to the billionaire takeover and the rampant corruption that has invaded Congress and the White House. We demand an end to the slashing of federal funds for Medicaid, Social Security, and other services we need to survive. We demand an end to the attacks on our neighbors, immigrants,
to make the government better, they're trying to make the government theirs. This new agency run by Elon Musk, a billionaire with no accountability to the people, has been handed sweeping powers to interfere across federal departments. No checks, no balances, just centralized power in the hands of a tech bro with no love for our country. We also saw the January 6th pardons. Pardoning January 6th rioters is an insult to every American that believes in the rule of law. These were not peaceful protesters. This wasn't a day of love. They were violent extremists who attacked our Capitol, who beat police officers, and forgiving them isn't just turning a blind eye to crime, it's rewarding an attack on democracy. He's saying, if you break the law for me, I will protect you. That's not leadership, that's mob boss politics. But we are here to remind him that no one, not even the president, is above the law. We have seen efforts to revoke birthright citizenship. Birthright citizenship is one of the bedrock promises of America. It states that if you are born here, you belong here. It's not a loophole, it's the law. It's enshrined in the Constitution, and now this administration is trying to take that away. They want to erase that American promise, not just from the law books, but from the lives of millions of families, especially Black, brown, and immigrant communities. It's not about security, this is about control. It's a step backward into the darker past of America, and we are here to say we will not go back. We have seen the abolition of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. We have seen the cruel and far-reaching campaign to push transgender people out of public life. We have seen the imposition of sweeping tariffs, including against penguins. We have seen economic economic uncertainty and market volatility, we have seen international condemnation of the U.S. from the rest of the world and alienation from our strongest allies. But we're closer to Putin? Make it make sense. We have seen violence and intimidation from ICE. In defiance of constitutional protections, ICE is using violence, fear, and intimidation to detain not only undocumented immigrants, but also green card holders, asylum seekers, and even citizens of the United States. People are detained in awful conditions, such as the Crow Migrant Detention Center, built to hold 500 people, who are currently imprisoning over 5,000. We have seen unimaginable attacks against the freedom of speech that we so poorly protect. It's a constitutional right protected by the First Amendment, the very foundation of American democracy. But under this administration, truth is African Americans marched through the streets of Selma demanding the right to vote. They faced dogs, batons, and tear gas. But they marched and they spoke up anyway. Because John Lewis said, "Good trouble, that's what we're gonna do." Because Fannie Lou Hammer was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because Martin Luther King Jr. told us the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, but only if we bend it. When women were told that we didn't belong in the halls of power, we fought back in the streets, in the courts, and at the ballot box, demanding the right to vote, the right to work, the right to be free. The courage of these women paved the way for every woman standing here in this fight today. When Latino workers were exploited and ignored, they organized, they marched, and they went on strike, forcing Americans to see their humanity, to hear their demands. Si se puede was our cry, and it still echoes every day in every fight for dignity and justice. Sorry, hands up, really cold, and can I get it? Alright, there we go. During the Stonewall Uprising, LGBTQ folks said, of dreamers, of marchers, and of organizers. And if history teaches us anything, it's that change comes when people like us speak up and demand it. So don't stop showing up, don't stop speaking out, don't stop voting, organizing, marching, and fighting, not with fists, but with conviction, with truth, and with love for our country. For those of you that want to be involved, please join Colorado Springs Indivisible. We have flyers, we have a town hall coming, we meet up every single month, we work with each other to fight back. So please join our movement. Rachel over here, over there, she's holding a QR code. If you want an info sheet, go find her and scan the QR code. We also have flyers. Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Thank you, gracias.
Let's give another round of applause for Luz. We would not be here today without Indivisible in Colorado Springs. They are a true blessing to our community. Thank you again, Indivisible. We appreciate what you do greatly. Now, it is crazy that we get to chant this, but repeat after me. Penguins over Putin? Penguins over Putin! Penguins over Putin! I love Colorado Springs, so we just got a preliminary head count, and I am looking at over 3,500 of our residents right now. Over 3,000 people here in Colorado Springs. We're gonna make Denver look bad, guys! And we should. It's beautiful. There is nothing stronger that we can do to send a perfect message than show up where they think they are in charge, where they
Thank you for being here. Thank you for putting it together. I am so happy to be here. We are here because the assault on our democracy, the destruction of everything that makes America great, it's gone too far. It's been 3 months, and we're already less free, less safe, and less prosperous. And if we stand on the sidelines and do nothing, there may be nothing left to rebuild. We can't sit on the sidelines. We must show up. I'm going to say it straight. What we've witnessed is the greatest scam in American history. Make America great again? You don't make America great again by defunding education. You don't make it great by abandoning your allies. You don't make it great by being an erratic, unstable, and unreliable trading partner. And you don't become great by sending people to torturous labor camps around the world with no due process. But a sizable portion of that population has been convinced that it's fighting for them. I say it's not fighting for them. That movement's built on self-promotion, self-preservation, and self-enrichment only. The more wealth you get, the more power you get. And if you've got enough money and you're willing to spend $300 million to get them elected, you get to run the whole damn thing. For years, I wondered what they meant by the again part, what they wanted to go back to. Recently, one of their highest ranking officials said America was truly great back in about 1900. I think it sounds crazy, but it's not a joke. 1900, back before civil rights, back before we were the world's largest economy, back when 6- and 7-year-olds worked full factory days. Are you kidding me? That's not a goal. That's a nightmare. And we will not be silent. We need to make America great for everyone. We do that by making our education system the envy of the world. Whether you're in Connecticut or Mississippi or right here in District 11. We make the world in America a better place by ensuring that healthcare is more affordable and more available and a fundamental right to everyone. And veterans, you should never have to worry about cuts to the benefits you earn. Not once, not ever. While they cut $1.6 million right here in Southern Colorado from care and share, they are pushing, and they were up late last night working on it. They are trying to pass a $4.5 trillion tax cut for the very wealthy that are doing absolutely fine. That's right. I'm going to say a real quick personal story that I think many can relate to. My mom worked her butt off. She raised 2 kids, one of which was a little ornery, and she worked and she helped my dad build a small business. She worked multiple jobs, and she paid into Social Security her entire life. And she trusted that it would be there when she was old, or a senior, when she needed it. So when somebody in our current government, a billionaire of course, says she's a fraud if she gets upset or cranky or complains if that check doesn't arrive on time, I say, who the hell are you? You don't know what it's like to need that check. We must stand up for every Social Security recipient, everyone on Medicaid, everyone on Medicare, everyone who these cuts are affecting. Not just when it's convenient. We must stand up every time. So you've heard of Doge. We're being a little too polite. They recently said that taxpayer-funded jobs are not real jobs. What are they talking about? The soldiers at Fort Carson, ready to leave their families to protect ours, those are real jobs. The nurses and the doctors at the VA, ready to treat them when they return home, say it with me, those are real jobs. The police, the firefighters, the teachers, those are taxpayer-funded jobs, and they are real jobs. last year when they were campaigning, they said there will be so much winning, you will get tired of winning. This doesn't feel like winning. We are losing, yes. The French stock market's up, the Hong Kong stock market's up, the German stock market's up. How are we doing here? Prices are up, higher than last year. Growth is slowing. This is not winning. This is stagflation. Not to get wonky, but this is not winning. Just this week, the night before their policies caused another 10% reduction in our 401ks, they said we've been getting ripped off. I agree, we've been getting ripped off. In this country, we have 800 billionaires, but we have 37 million Americans living in poverty, and even more than that, working hard just to make ends meet. We are getting ripped off. We're getting ripped off by the billionaires and the people in Congress and Washington that are bought and paid for by those billionaires. Here's what I'm going to leave you with, Colorado. Hope will not create change. Action creates change. And the right change creates hope. If we leave here and do nothing, they win. And that's exactly what they want. We cannot stop. We cannot lose. This is too important. We can't back down. We cannot be afraid. We must go forward. We must show up. We must do the work. Let's get this done.
Thank you, John. Now, we have criminals inhabiting the White House for the first time ever? It's ever, right? Yeah. Ever? So what do we do to criminals? I think I just heard it. Lock them up! Lock them up! Lock them up! They call on their political dissidents to go to prison, and then they break our laws? Unacceptable! Lock them up! Lock them up! Lock them up! Over 3,000 people came here today to tell the White House how the law works. That's insane for them, not for us. This is beautiful, guys. Cheer for yourselves. Come on. We could not ask for a brighter crowd here in Colorado Springs. I've never seen it in my life. Now, chant with me again. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. And damn straight he does. Now, I get the honor of introducing your next speaker today, a wonderful community advocate, Goddess Taisha. Please come take the microphone.
What up? Woo. Y'all are looking amazing. Look around right now, okay? Look around just for a second. Because no one believes that Colorado Springs can't pull this, okay? So let's do this right. Today, we're going to start with a poem. It's written by me, by the way. And it's called Wake Up Call. Welcome to the Wake Up Call. The Wake Up Call, knock, knock. You gotta get up. Knock, knock. No, really, this is the real woke party they warned you about. Not the meme, not the slur, not the thing Fox News twisted into a pipeline, but the actual moments your bones begin to buzz. There with truth. Knock, knock. This is the party where the playlist goes into protest. The dress code is the whole ass sleeping. Knock, knock. Wake up. This is the book they warned you about. The one without happy endings, just hard beginnings. The revolutionary chapters in the labor pain of the ancestors who manifested this moment, written in the margins of every silenced history. This is when the Kool-Aid curdles on your tongue and you spit it out. Decide you're not going to join the cult. That this... Woo! Decide you're not going to join the cult. That tells you comfort is worth more than justice. That tells you silence is safer than truth. Knock, knock, wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
This is when you step off of the conveyor belts, stop being a product of someone else's privilege, someone else's story, and start writing your own story where collective liberation ain't just a slogan, but a sacred promise. You stop being divided by their devices, stop being doped up by their distractions, and start remembering who you are. You are not asleep anymore. Knock, knock. You up? ¿Cómo estamos? Okay. Peace, everyone. Today, if you're cold, think about the privilege you've had in this winter season to possibly not to have to sit in the cold. And if at 2 o'clock you want to fight for the houseless that don't have the same privilege, Acacia Park we will be, okay? I went back and forth about what I was going to speak. Do that again. I went back and forth about what I was going to speak on today. Should I talk about black and brown siblings? Some of one who have committed to the freedom fighters I know and are choosing to sit down and be out on this one. Not because we don't care, but because time and time again, we've watched those with the most ability to show up simply choose not to. Where the hell have y'all been? Wake up! Knock, knock! Yet, we're expected to carry it going, right? Should I tell you that I'm in consistent practice of flexing the muscle of patience and grace and love for the version of America that was never built for me to survive in, let alone thrive? Should I tell you that my double American experience, Puerto Rican and always political, where colonization isn't history but a daily policy, where the Jones Act bleeds over $70 billion from a colonized country that is being raped by the United States of America? As you strip my island of its natural resources and the economy is dependent of importing 85% of its food from us, yet they cannot and will not have ever the ability to vote for a president or a congressional representation because they're a colony to the United States. Do I tell you that Puerto Rican women were sterilized without consent with this country testing over so many people with birth control to deem safe for white suburban cells? Or now as a gender queer, perimenopausal baby, I've been doing this for too long, okay? Wound-wearing human. I came to talk, so y'all better live. Even though I want to get my uterus out of my body, I don't have the privilege to remove it without thinking of my ancestry, without remembering the woman who didn't get the choice because of this country. Our bodies were never ours. They're policy tools, experiments, and resources for capitalism right now. Do we wait until everyone's right is on the chopping block before we open the conversation? Let's see. Y'all better show up and show out. Knock, knock. Because, let's be honest, some of us never stopped living under fascism. We've been navigating it, surviving it, and naming it, while others, often, no offense, don't get shame and guilt, don't let your cognitive dissonance come in, while often white, cis, and comfortable waking up and saying, wow, democracy is in danger, girl. Your democracy was never my peace. Let's be clear. The only reason I'm here, I'm standing still speaking, is because I've witnessed my white siblings, queer and straight, who have stood up, who've used their privilege to call others in. Even when the dissonance of comfort told them they could opt out. Even when they had the privilege to opt out, they told you, wake up, knock, knock. When this society has fractioned us off to one another, when the system was built to believe different, less than, disconnected, when we are all human, still using eugenics to justify harm, still building economies around who gets left out, because capitalism was never designed to work for everyone. Woo. The American dream cannot be universal in a country built on stolen land and labor, while exporting jobs, poisoning foods, and feeding us the cancer that sells to cure big pharma. Let's knock, knock, let's wake up. They build pipelines of pain and pass laws around our protests. We legitimately were quietly protesting by using our dollar, and they were trying to make laws against that. And this is the Biden, wake up, knock, knock. Remember, cancel culture was not born out of cruelty. It was the first peaceful protest. We're going to have to cut this short, okay? You are harming us. We will not help fund your oppression. We learned from Gandhi, yes, and very complicated. Look at your history. We learned from Dr. King on the FBI's most wanted list, and still, we look for a savior, but no one is coming to save us. No one is coming to save you. We must save each other, and it can't just be one person standing up. Because every time we do, y'all know what happens. They kill our leaders, they silence our voices. Ask yourself, what happened to our advocates that have been using ICE to detain them illegally in this state? Advocates are locked up right now for doing the many things that all of us have feared. Revolutions don't happen in hashtags. They don't happen in 2.3 seconds or one viral march. They take decades. It took over 80 years to stop the lynching that was happening to black people, and you're sitting here wondering, why is this not happening faster? Get up, knock, knock. So I asked you, is this your one march? No. Let me ask you again. So I asked you, is this your one march? Or are you going to show up every time there is injustice, even when it's inconvenient, even when it's not trending, even when it's not about you, because it's about the integrity that you show up in? Will you keep buying the newest iPhone while kids in global south are being killed for your text? Will you keep on buying the latest car, the latest lie, the latest excuse to stay silent, just for the comfort of saying, I just didn't know? And let's talk about this. And this is the last piece I got, because y'all need to hear it. There was something about the peace we found within the queer community. Something about the joy we built together across lines of race, class, and gender. And that terrified the system. Hence why we had so many laws built against us. Over 300 state laws were built against queer people because we are scary as fuck. Because when black and white and brown, sure. When black and white, brown and indigenous, trans and cis, poor and middle class folks get together and start holding each other accountable, loving each other and dancing through the pain, not having it all right but breaking white supremacy, naming our truths and our triggers, and still choosing each other, that's when they knew they had a problem. We were breaking the algorithm. The same system that's right, let's break the rhythm. from the beach. Hello. The same system that taught us to fear difference couldn't compete with the magic of chosen family. The government has not always known the danger of unity. That's why they've worked so hard to make sure we never get too close. Because if we find peace and joy in each other, and I would tell you, the real revolution is in joy. So remember to dance. If we stop fighting one another and start fighting for one another, then the entire life falls apart. They cannot have it. Woo-woo! Yeah! But make no mistake, this country doesn't change unless you make it uncomfortable. This country will not change until you make it uncomfortable. Knock, knock. And you, especially you with privilege to have choice, like I do. I have privilege. Knock, knock. You can ask yourself every single day, where is my knock, 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 It's so sad when you see people that feel so oppressed that they have to oppress others. And I'm going to tell you this right now. The goal is not to other them. The goal is to get them to understand that they're being oppressed by this same thing that they're fighting for. Knock, knock. And you, especially with the privilege, have a choice, like I do, because I have many privileges. You can ask yourself every single day, where is my comfort built on? Where is my comfort built? Was it built on someone else's suffering? Where is my privilege purchased by someone else's pain? And am I fighting for liberation, not just rights? Liberation, not just rights. It's not enough to say you think Black Lives Matter. I said what I said. It's not enough to say love is love. That's cute. That's real, real cute. It is every single person you meet, every policy that goes by this state. It is every single human thinking about the empathy, the love, and the grace you will give them. And that shit takes work. Because when they come for one of us, they will come for all of us. We are the 99%. Wake up, knock, knock. So the question isn't, what should I talk about today? The question is, are you still listening? Thank you.
Let's give it up again. An applause for the goddess. Now let's chant with me again. Rise up, resist. We will not be dismissed. 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 I think our crowd just continues to grow. You know, those morons keep driving by and it keeps making us bigger. Our hatred gives us power.
I have ever seen in my life to speak in front of. I am so proud of you for showing up.
Lizzie!
I'm Liz Rosenbaum, and in 2016, I found out with my community we were poisoned for profit. I gotta tell you, I love winter, especially when I get to wear PFAS-free gear, because I've been in this fight for 9 years. I am more showing up mad. We have passed 7 laws in Colorado banning PFAS chemicals in everyday products. We could have done it in 6, but the Republican in my district didn't want to ban it from car seats. So we did number 7. We forced the EPA to regulate these chemicals for the first time in history. They told us it wasn't possible. We made it happen. This fight isn't just local. It's across the country. Millions of people are still drinking water with PFAS poison for profit because people, not just companies who made the decisions, we need to poison them. We need to put them in prison for poisoning us. That's why we say we protect us. This fight continues until everyone has safe water, including Flint, Michigan. Not just the lucky ones, not just the loud ones, and definitely not just the rich ones. I do want to leave you with some really great news. Hard work pays off. And we do have a good network of corporate supporters. Shout out to Keen Shoes for investing in their machines to be PFAS free about their boots. They're my ass kicking boots now. And then investing in the national PFAS leaders like me with a $30,000 grant so we can get together in May and lead you on. They see the power we're building. They know what we are up against again. So when you hear yourself say somebody should do something, remember, you are the somebody. Don't do it. I need you to understand and listen to me right now out of anything. We don't have a hospital south of Platte. Why? Because we're expensive because they made us sick. So they force us into the rich end of town where there are 9 hospitals. Fuck that. We want a hospital. I want every single person today to understand we need a hospital south of Platte or we're going to get water poisoning number 6. 5 is enough. We are walking pieces of evidence of a crime against humanity and we need doctors. When I get back from Chicago in May, I want to see you at my meetings. I want to see you fight for a hospital. I want you to tell your kids to be doctors and nurses because we're going to protect our future. I want your kids to be water district managers, wastewater managers. I want them elected. Because when we organize locally, we shake the national stage. They listen when we're loud. They move when we unite. They change because we make them. This is our responsibility. I've been doing it for 9 years and I have joy doing it. We need our forests to breathe for us. We need our water to drink. Fuck fascism! I want to see every single one of you help a school board candidate win in November. Raise your hand
and put name on black people's business because I was raised by a truth that taught me how to talk to y'all. And that is not really a flex. It is a gift and it is a privilege. Be mindful of the way you say hello to me and feel free to use they, them pronouns. Thank you.
I want to hear 5,000 people cheer for Goddess. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has gotta go. And he's gotta take Elon Musk with him, honestly. I don't even know how that guy got through the front door. Security should have stopped him, frankly. No justice, no peace. 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 Make sure those guys in the trucks can hear you guys. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Run away. Thousands of people have gathered here in what was once the capital of Colorado. Denver's gonna Elon Musk has gotta go. Elon Musk has gotta go. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock them up. You do not call on your political dissidents to go to prison because you're losing an election. I'm sorry, Mr. Trump. You do call on them to go to jail when you try to steal an election, though. And that is exactly what our neighbors across every ocean around us have shown us. From South Korea and beyond, they have shown us that when you steal an election, you go to jail. You get impeached. Now, on to our next speaker today, my successor and close friend, your new Young Den chair, Sasha Lindau.
Well, first off, give everyone here, give yourselves a round of applause for braving this cold April weather. Now, here's the thing.
This is us celebrating. Bring Latinos is giving money.
So, I was also the same way. I'm speaking directly towards veterans and our armed services. So, whenever we talk about that, I do like to start with the Star Spangled Banner. So, if you guys would give me a hand and sing the Star Spangled Banner with me. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light, oh, so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleams, whose bright stars and bright stars through the perilous fight was a landmark we watched. Now I got a few questions. Anybody here who's active duty, raise your hand. Thank you for your service. Thank your families for your service. Anybody here who's a veteran, raise your hand. Thank you for your service and thank you for your sacrifice. That's what it means to be an American. Standing up and doing exactly what we're doing right now. And right now, the VA is being censored by good old Doge, Mr. Musk, and his minion, Mr. Trump.
February alone, 1,800 jobs were terminated within the VA. I don't know if you guys know, but 30% of the VA is actually manned by veterans. So we're taking their jobs away. They want to end 400,000 more jobs by the year's end. Take 30% of that $400,000. Thank you, veterans, for your service. Go piss off is what they're saying. We're not going to stand for that. We fought for this country for a good reason, and this is not the reason. The reason we fought for is we're doing here right now. Just yesterday, I had to read a few articles in the news that Doge has sent in approximately 20 people to the Aurora VA to start their downsizing. It was in the chemo portion of the VA. So now we're going to take away a veteran who fought for our country. We're going to take away his cancer treatments. No, we're not going to accept that. Trump, Musk, we are Colorado Springs, and I need them to hear us right now. Who are we? Exactly. We're not going to stand for it anymore. Trump, Musk, you gotta go.
No Trump, no KKK, no racist USA. 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 Damn straight. Now I'm going to introduce.
Out of curiosity, is Jeff Frank here? Anyone seen Jeff? I didn't think so. Just the other day, he came out and said they passed a new law in Congress. They said we need to keep the weirdos out of our school system. I don't agree. I agree with that statement. I think, it's so important. Maybe we should have a federal agency dedicated to protecting education. I know. It's a novel idea, right? Maybe that organization can make sure that regardless of what zip code you live in, your child has access to a free, quality education. Since the 1940s. Do any of you know how our Republican congressman voted on that one? No. They all said no. You know what he said? He said it was too expensive to provide health care to those service members that served our country. It's incredible when you look at what these people think democracy looks like. But this is what it is right here. When I look around, I see democracy in action. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. It is going to be a hard path to get representation back in our House of Representatives, to be back here in Colorado Springs. It's going to be a long journey. Do not get discouraged. When I look around and I look at each and every one of you, that is what motivates me to keep fighting. When you feel like you're tired, look to the person next to you and realize that we are committed to democracy. We are committed to supporting American values. We will not let a draft-dodging coward define what makes this country great. That make this country great. You have always made this country great, and with your help, with your support and energy, we will continue to make this country exactly what it is. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting democracy, and thank you for doing everything that you do.
Tell me what democracy democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like. I don't know how much bigger this crowd can get. We're gonna fill the city, guys. We're not gonna be able to drive anymore. Give yourself one last cheer. I have a faith leader for you named Heather McDuff, a pillar of our community, and I am honored to be able to hand the mic over to her now.
Hello, beloveds. I am going to challenge us in the next few minutes to not give our attention to the ones who are trying to distract us. They are trying, this is the point, okay? So hear me. Let's sing. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Do not pay attention to the ones who want to distract us. Do you understand? My name is Heather McDuffie. I am a mom of 2 teenage girls. Pray for me, y'all. I am a big old dyke. I have a dedicated wife, and I get to be your wife. Okay? I am a Christian minister in the United Church of Christ, a pastor at Community Congregational Church in Manitou Springs. And today, I asked the organizers of this protest, what do you want us to focus on today? Because babies, there is so much. There is too much. especially if it comes at the expense of fragile egos. I will make all of my confessions first, okay, because I'm a follower of Jesus and I am shamefully entwined with the damage that people have caused and continue to cause in the name of Christianity. All right? I am sickened by Christian nationalism. So if you are unfamiliar with that term, Christian nationalism claims that the United States was established by and for Christians. False. Okay? Bullshit is right. Christian nationalists have blended Christian identity and cultural conservatism as central to American civil life. And I will tell you what, that has nothing to do with my Jesus. Hands off my Jesus. Hands off my Jesus. Because the whole premise of Christian nationalism is wrong and misleading. In reality, Christian nationalism is a lightly, pretty veiled brand of white supremacy, y'all. Plain and simple. It does not reflect the gospel. It does not reflect Jesus' kingdom work. As a matter of fact, if God wanted political power, Jesus would have come as a baby born to Roman royalty, not a Palestinian Jew born to an unwed pregnant teenager. So here is my true north. We all gotta find our own. I will not let Christian nationalism claim Jesus as their own. He is not for sale. He will not be owned by them. They cannot have him. Because in reality, Jesus was a first century Palestinian, brown, queer minority who lived under foreign occupation. He imagined that something different could happen. And he talked about a kingdom that was mocking the one he lived in. In the Roman Empire, you see, money and power were lusted after. And in the kingdom of God, human dignity and worth were at the center of everything. Jesus' kingdom consisted of marginalized characters. People who were disabled and sick. Sex workers. Gender-bending eunuchs. Foreigners. Children possessed by demons, and yes, even the IRS was in there, Jewish authorities, and Roman soldiers. Jesus' crew was the OGDEI, baby. And Jesus' North Star was crystal clear. Love always. Bless those who persecute you. Forgive even the unforgivable. Do not pay evil with evil, but overcome evil with good. And so to those of you who consider yourselves Christian, we try to walk the way of Christ, emulating his life. Now I have a little story. My wife is a therapist here in Colorado Springs, and her group practice is committed to providing care to anyone who walks through those doors in need of therapy. They have a banner in the office that reads, "All are welcome here." And last week, a woman came into the office and she started yelling at the manager because she's a Christian and she felt unsafe by that banner, and it did not reflect her Christian values. And then, in the same week, I went with some friends over to Kuwati. You know Kuwati? And I went inside the bathroom stall where someone scratched on the door, "Trans women are women." Now, as a Christian faith leader, I would argue that the vandal was more Christ-like than the so-called Christian in this parable. And yet it will never make the news. As Gil Scott Heron wrote in 1970, the revolution will never be televised. And this is the smallest of actions that we make out of our core values. The commitment we make to do our inner work, that is the revolution. The embrace of our transgender children, that is the revolution. The education of our children about black and brown figures in American history, that is the revolution. The advocacy for abortion care and bodily autonomy, that is the revolution. Hold up, y'all, you're getting mad at me. The divestment from Amazon, social media, and entertainment news, that is the revolution. The car washes and the bake sales we do for nonprofits, that is the revolution. The communities of respect and care that we build in this Colorado Springs community, that is the revolution. And the joy, goddess, the joy that we find in the little things, that is the revolution. Beloveds, no one can take those things away from you. No one. They belong to you. They live inside of you. That is the truth. Do not let them take your revolution. We may not be able to control everything that's unfolding in this time, but we can choose our response. We can choose to respond with courageous love for our neighbors. We can refuse to cooperate with what harms us, and our responses can change our experiences of life, and they can change our whole world. So in the end, human relationships is all we have. We are all we have. So let us commit ourselves to the quiet work of justice and renewal, responding with human connection that does not
got a pretty good chance. So why don't you repeat after me? Take Jeff Craig! Take Jeff Craig! Take Jeff Craig! Take Jeff Craig! They will not steal our Social Security! They will not steal our benefits! They will not steal our retirement or our VAs! We will not let them! I'm honored to introduce your next speaker today, Julie Ziza.
Hello, so my name is Julie Ziza. I can promise you I am not an attorney, I am not a medical doctor, but I want to talk to you about how your civil rights are being compromised. So, how many of you have ever watched or gone to a Denver Broncos game? Hey, if you are not familiar with what you do in the stadium, when a pass is thrown and it is not completed, you yell, incomplete. So let's all practice that. Incomplete. One more time. Incomplete. So what I'm going to do is inform you of some of your civil rights that the administration believes you don't get to have the right to keep. And I'm going to inform you that every time I name something, I want you to yell incomplete, because they are not going to receive our civil rights. That is for us, and I want you to encourage the community that is listening, watching, that we have civil rights, and we will not allow them to steal and exploit us, because that is what they want to do. They want to exploit us for the sake of their ego. And I can tell you, I am not going to stand for it. So there was an executive order. Oh, in case you don't know some of your civil rights, just in case you're not aware, that civil rights prohibit discrimination on the basis of race, color, sex, national origin, age, and religion. So I think each of us fall into numerous of those categories. So is the administration going to take our civil rights? Incomplete. One more time. Incomplete. Because we own them and we will not be exploited. So this week, our lovely administration put in writing, which just shows he doesn't really have the intelligence, but he put in writing something that he calls improving education outcomes by empowering parents, states, and communities. Well, let me tell you, that little pretty title that might sell a book, it is not truly giving the rights and empowerment to us as citizens, even in Colorado Springs. So let me tell you about how he plans to steal and exploit our rights. There is a federal law called Free and Appropriate Public Education. It goes from age 3 to 21. Now, you might not know this, and you might not care, but I'm going to tell you why you do. They seem to believe that 12% of our vulnerable youth don't have rights. They're just going to take those rights to a good and livable life with employment skills. Why should we deny our most vulnerable their right to a free and appropriate public education? So, are they going to succeed? No! Incomplete. We are not going to let them rob those young people who don't even have their voice yet. They have no voice to vote. They cannot argue with the administration. So my job is to help the youth of today find their voice. So, if think individuals that might need to have an education that matches their needs? Do you think people who have ever struggled with math, do you think we should give them specialized instruction? Or are we going to let the administration steal their education? I think it's going to be an incomplete. Okay? If you have a family member born with cerebral palsy, too bad, so sad, we're going to take their civil rights away because it's not the administration's job anymore. Are we going to let them take that? No. It is going to be incomplete. Oh, you have a friend or family member who has an individual with Down syndrome. Well, gosh, do we care? Should we educate them and give them the right to empower their voice? Yes. So the administration is going to be incomplete. So I want to also inform you, because right now you're thinking 12%. What do I care? I don't have kids, I don't have grandkids, none of my family have disabilities. Well, let me tell you, from your age of 21 to 101, these are your civil rights. There is something called the Americans with Disabilities Act. The administration actually named President Carter, who signed the bill, that it was his fault and it was faulty that he should have signed it because he was too greatly impacted by people hanging out with him. And I'm going to tell you that federal law, the accommodations of people with disabilities, that covers our life. 25% of us use this every day. Every day, 25% of us access our ADA accommodations. And let me tell you how we do it. By the way, that's called a 504, in case you're familiar with that. 504, okay? Those are your rights. If you have a stroke and you need accommodations because you are recovering, your brain is recovering, the administration thinks they're just going to take that civil right. You don't need help. If you know anybody and any family that's been impacted by a stroke, are we going to allow them to take that civil right? No. It is going to be incomplete. Oh, some people go skiing. Funny, we are in Colorado. But what I will say is that if you break your leg and you need to have an elevator to get your little wheelie chair upstairs, that's an accommodation insured from the 1973 law. Are we going to let them steal your right to access? No, it is going to be incomplete. Oh, hip replacements. The longer we live, the less we take with us. So hey, there you go. You might need accommodations. It might just be for a month, but you still have the right to have accessibility so you can maintain employment and help your family and community. So are we going to let them take it? No! It's going to be incomplete. I can tell you that when I got breast cancer, my employer said, "You're going to do radiation every day? You're going to miss meetings." And I said, "I'm sorry, but I'm still going to do the treatment." Like the audacity that somebody's going to tell me that me maintaining life is less valuable than going to his meeting. So are we going to let the administration do this? No! going to be incomplete. There is a new law that allows people to get information through how they need to learn. And I can tell you that discrimination happens today because people who have ADA rights for their vision, and I'm talking about glaucoma, like, again, the older we stay alive, the less we take with us. Like, we have got to be prepared for a long life. And we need those accommodations. Are we going to let them take our civil rights? No! It's going to be incomplete. I don't know if any of you have had a friend who's been in a car accident. And there's some pretty major damage that is done to the brain and to the spine. Well, those people deserve to keep their job and to get the accommodations they need. So are we going to let them take our civil rights? No! We're going to keep the administration's hands off, and it's going to be incomplete. Yeah. I appreciate all of your time and your enthusiasm. Thank you very much. It's dangerous to keep a microphone with me.
I'll just lead us in a chant when we get Christian here. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Trump, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Donald Trump has got to go. And you know who else has to go? There's a cranky person in Pikes Peak who's got to go. I guess we're going to do it. Hey, hey, ho, Jeff Crank has got to go.
I have one last speaker for you here today. Their name is Emrys, and they have been a dedicated advocate for our homeless youth here in Colorado Springs and El Paso County. It is my honor to be able to pass the mic down to them.
This is powerful. Are powerful. All the speeches today have been absolutely beautiful. And as a grassroots organizer for homeless rights, I appreciate how much focus has been put on the importance of continuing our work, continuing to be brave day in and day out as we go and supporting local action. What I felt in this crowd today, what I've realized in conversation with beautiful people, is how this demonstration shows our incredible power and ability to come together. To have mobilized on this scale, this quickly, is striking and full of amazing potential. I like to tell folks that I ain't scared of shit. And even after this speech, after I showed about to say, I reserve the right to say that as if it's true. I reserve the right.
That's right.
And if we are going to face the weight and severity of our current situation, we also have to face our vulnerability.
Yes.
I'm here today admitting to you that I am afraid. I'm scared. I'm scared about the rollback of the funding for basic needs. I'm afraid for the work that I poured myself into, that so many have poured their lives into, to be undermined or even erased. I'm scared for my peers who are losing their renting and housing vouchers. I'm scared for my peers, who particularly on this weekend are sitting in El Paso County Jail for the crime of existing. For my peers who are incarcerated in a profit-driven prison system made to maintain our permanent underclass. I'm scared that our federal housing and urban development funds will be gutted, and that our unhoused community will be taken of what little opportunities they have. I'm scared that when I'm finally ready to apply to a grant that I've been working towards, the grant that would be potentially life-changing to sustain the Youth Advisory Board, I'm afraid it will be too late. And I'm afraid to let people down. And I'm afraid of the potential implications of that. I'm afraid to lose more comrades, more people that I love. These are scary times. And there's a lot to be afraid of. And frankly, we should be afraid. I've been told that fear often does one of two things. Fear can be paralyzing, or fear can be fucking motivating. And we are not the only ones who should be afraid.
That's right.
The power I felt in this crowd, the energy that's been palpable, it comes from comrade to comrade interaction.
Right.
It comes from recognizing our shared oppression, from understanding that to realize a level of humanity in the system requires active and sustained solidarity.
That's right.
You know who doesn't have comrades? Bet you can guess. Elon doesn't have comrades. Donald doesn't have comrades. JB doesn't have fucking comrades. What they do have is taxes. What they do have is weapons and a state-sanctioned monopoly on violence. They have a chokehold on the institutions that we rely on. But they don't have this. They don't have what we have and are feeling right here. They do not have the unspeakable power that we are feeling today. They depend on our ignorance of oppression. They depend on our division. And what we are proving here today is that we are more than capable of those realizations and of that solidarity. And that is what makes us powerful. That is what makes us scary. And that fear will paralyze them. Our fear is fucking motivating. I've also been told that hopelessness is an extreme privilege. Folks fighting for survival do not have the option to be hopeless. They cannot be hopeless and survive. And so, to hold solidarity with them, we must refuse to lose hope. There are issues on the ground locally that require action now. Those issues, there is hope and there is humanity to be found in that action. That action requires organizing long-term, organizing sustained power for the people. And that organizing is hard. It is tedious. And sometimes it feels as though the fight today is the same, it looks the same as the fight 3 months ago, sometimes it is. But just like the unexpected scale and power of this protest, the power of organizing is exponential. Thank you for sharing this with me. This protest was beautiful. It was beautiful, it was powerful, it was scary. But what can continue to make this protest, what can transform this protest into revolutionary, is how it motivates grassroots action. In a minute here, I will be heading over to Acacia Park for a local protest, a very critical weekend that is regarding a dehumanization, the criminalization of existence for homeless people in a way that is quite literally killing our neighbors. And you want to learn? Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'll be in 40 minutes here. 40 minutes? No, sorry. In a couple minutes. Please join me for 40 minutes in Acacia Park, where we'll be learning and discussing the dehumanization and the murder of our neighbors. Thank you for recognizing the role that this national demonstration has in grassroots, the grassroots fight. Thank you for the organizers, working with the organizers of our protests to make these protests complement and elevate each other as they inherently rush to have a revolution, to win this revolution. The protest we're moving into, after the rally, I'm inviting all to, we will have a group of us, a form of quiet and yet powerful, small-scale civil disobedience. In order to make that small-scale disobedience as effective and powerful as it will and can be, we will need, in this next hour or so, a shift in strategy and our people power. Yes! I am asking that in the next 40 minutes you join us at Acacia. And that when you change and shift your strategy today, that you continue to have conversations with your comrades. You continue to build this power day in and day out, when it's quiet, when it's hard, when you don't have people around you. So please continue, and also thank you so much for your understanding of the need for a change in address right now. A change physically right now approach to continue building that power. Thank you.
Let's give another round for Emerson Jenkins, everybody. I have some respect for what they do. As a former homeless man myself, we need this type of work. Thank you again. Now, I don't want to leave you with my words, because frankly, you've heard a lot of me, and I can talk all day. I want to go through just a couple of your fellow neighbors, residents, and citizens here, and let them just have a sentence or two, and leave you with their voices, as we then move on to the open house that Citizens Project is opening currently and hosting at the Richard Justice.
Hello, my name is Zip Lindholm. I'm a student here locally, and my message is for someone so anti-queer. Trump sure is comfortable with Elon Musk living in his ass.
community voice. And everybody wave to the drone there. All right. So in order for us to really make a difference, we got to move from here to doing something down the road.
That's right.
So I'm going to give you a couple of quick things you can do. Start a conversation with your MAGA friends and ask them, at what age did you start teaching your children, or were you being taught, if you don't have children, about not calling other people names? Go do that conversation, and a little bit into that conversation, they're going to ask, why do you ask? And say, well, I was just wondering why you're okay with Trump doing it. And then when they start talking about our rights, I grew up in a country where you were innocent until proven guilty. How did they demonstrate that when they put 100 people in an airplane and fly them off to another country and lock them up against a court order and then say, oh, well, we can't get them back because we already sent them there? That's another conversation. And you need to separate these conversations out because you need multiple conversations. They're not going to change on one conversation. And eventually in that conversation, they will probably bring up the border with you and just ask them to read Matthew 25:35 if they're a Christian and have them justify it. Thank you. It's time to turn Trump's words back on him. The Trump crime family has stolen the presidency of the United States. He is now trying to steal democracy. The only thing between that and autocracy are the federal courts. Support your federal judges. This is our last stand between autocracy breakthrough. Support your federal judges and turn Trump's words back onto him.
Hi, my name's Sean, and I was out at the bridge with about 75 other brave souls in the freezing cold, but we got the message out there. I just want to take a minute to thank all of the organizers. Y'all have no idea how great these people have worked together. And we had our martial training on Wednesday night, and we had like 40 people there, and it was fantastic. Yes! All right, I just want to remind everybody of one thing. Talk to the people around you. Work to build community. Community is the way through this. Together is the way through this. And remember, joy is an act of resistance. Love is an act of resistance. Together is an act of resistance. And I'm going to quote the great Texan Molly Ivins. Raise hell, big time. I want y'all to get out there and raise hell about damn near everything. My word, there's a world out there that needs fixing. Get out there and get after it. Let's go!
We're going to leave you off with one more chant. Guys, get back over here. You're not leaving me alone.
All right. Some of you might know this one. If not, I'm going to say it one time, and then we're going to say it together. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Say what? Thank you.
Please go to the Citizen Project at Port Richards Restaurant. Please get home safe. Meet a friend. Pick up trash if you see it. Don't make us look bad. And go to Acacia Park. Don't leave any signs. And please have a wonderful day, guys. Thank you all for coming. Give yourself a round of applause. Stay on the sidewalks. Please don't get hit by a car. I've done it. It really hurts. And they're not nice enough to stop for you. I promise.